Hey everybody, welcome to Between the Lines with Chris Curran, your host, and tonight we're speaking with Brockton High in Central Connecticut alum, Division I softball player, taught sub-separate special ed classrooms grades 3 to 8 for 16 years, autism and inclusion coach for K through 8 in Brockton, support and coach to all ASD teachers, and provides inclusive opportunities for all kiddos. Wife and mom, Lindsay Dahlquist. How's it going?
Thank you. That was very kind. Very, very
Yes.
kind.
Yes, how you been?
I'm here. No school tomorrow, so day off.
Yes, I know. We're excited about that because tomorrow's Kayla's birthday too.
Oh,
So
perfect.
yeah, she'll be able to sleep in. I'll wake up early with Coco.
Does he love a birthday? Does he love a celebration?
He likes blowing out the candles now. That's
I
his
saw your video. That was so
it's
awesome.
his new thing.
I love that. That was so exciting.
Yeah. What about you guys? How are birthday
Um,
parties taken over there?
so the first few years with Dom, it wasn't really he didn't even really notice it, but now he's 9 now, and he's had the same exact birthday party for the last 4 years, and we go to the same place every year, Extreme Craze in Foxborough. We do the same. He does not eat cake, so we do a pile of gummy bears, and it'll probably be the same until he's probably 16.
That is awesome.
Yep. So he knows what to expect. If it goes off routine, he is not happy. So it's the same every year.
Yeah. No, it works.
Yeah,
You
it's
start
easy.
to find out that your kiddos are a creature of habits. It's the same thing with Cole. So Cole doesn't eat anything sweet. So he eats like 5 things:
I'm with
strawberries,
you.
pancakes, Annie's cheddar squares, vanilla puffs sometimes,
Yep.
in a smoothie. And he kind of just got back into pancakes, so it's nice to be able to mix in a smoothie and a pancake for his main meals. But
Yes.
he cut out pancakes for probably the last 2 months, so it's been kind
Mhm.
of scary with the feeding.
Yeah, no,
But
we've been in the same boat too. I completely understand. And you can get a smoothie in there. That's pretty good. Maybe you
that
can.
that is awesome. We're mixing in all his vitamins, his gut stuff,
Yeah,
he's getting it all in there. So that is pretty good. It fills him up. He runs on energy all day, so
yeah. So
he's
you're the same with us. Like as far as like birthday parties, barbecues, parties, we roll with our own bag of food.
oh yeah.
Always.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, my mom's like, I just want to give him something. I'm like, you can try. He doesn't want
Oh
any.
yeah, go ahead and try. Go
He
ahead.
he has never eaten candy.
Same.
Yeah.
Only a gummy bear. Only
Yeah,
a gummy bear.
only a gummy bear.
But
Yeah.
like a slice of cake, a piece of pizza, an M&M, like God forbid, he would never touch it. Never,
It's
never.
it's so funny because like we'll try to give him like a chocolate chip cookie, but he'll be outside and he'll put a stick like in his mouth, and we're like,
For sure.
it's something. He's giving it a shot."
Yes, yes. We live
uh,
the same life.
yeah, no, it's the little things. That's the
Yeah.
beauty of it all. Let me ask you this: so for you, was like becoming a teacher always part? I would talk to you about sports, but you were better than me growing up. So I don't want to talk to you about sports.
That is false. The Curran boys were well known all over Brockton. Martland Ave Curran boys.
We did okay. We
Yeah.
did okay for ourselves. But as far as being a teacher, was that always part of your plan?
So yes and no, right? Like in my gut, I always like even as a small kid, you went to Raymond, right? You had
Yes.
to have. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
do you remember like peer leaders?
Yes.
Okay, so I was peer leader, and like I was always the peer leader that would ask to go work in the special ed classroom, like Mrs. special ed classroom in the back.
Yeah.
Um, so like even then, I was kind of drawn to other students with special needs, and then in high school, it, and there was this boy David that went to North, and then he went to Broughton High with me, and he had autism, and he was obsessed with Price is Right, and he used to carry around this binder of like pictures of Bob Barker and like the Price is Right games, and I just loved him, and I like befriended him, and he would see me in the hallway, and he would be like, Lindsay Hughes, come on down, and he was just my buddy, and I was always just drawn to autism. But when it came time to go to college, I was like, oh no, 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 I can't. Like I couldn't ever handle being a teacher. because I thought like the part of like dealing with the parents, I wouldn't be able to do that. And I just wasn't confident. So I actually went to college for criminology, and I did like an internship at like a juvenile delinquency program, and was like in downtown Hartford walking guys to get their drug tests. And I was like, oh, this is not the life for me. So as soon as I graduated, I signed up to get my master's in special ed. So that's when I finally was like, all right, this is what you need to do in life.
Oh, man. How about that? Yeah, sometimes you find out that dealing with the kids is easier than dealing with the parents.
Yes. Yes.
I had
I
to
always, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I always had to deal with that with I'm actually pretty fortunate with the baseball coaching that I had done, but it had always
Hmm.
been the parents with like kind of my I it's tough to call it social anxiety because I like to just say I'm an introvert. So I typically stick to myself. I don't really branch out. It's weird to say this, but I usually don't branch out to just talk to a bunch of people. Depends on what mood you catch me in. But I
Hmm.
always
Hmm.
got along with the players because
Yeah.
I'm a baseball player at heart. I always said I have more in common with a 10-year-old baseball player than I did a parent because I
Yeah.
wasn't a parent yet and I
Hmm.
was a baseball player at heart.
Yeah. I totally get that. I totally can relate to that. Um, yeah, I was just, I just, I've always kind of had a little bit of self doubt in everything, and I was just like, I can't do it. I can't do it. But then, like, the calling within me was like so strong. Like, no, this is, you got to do this, Lindsay. So,
Yeah.
yep.
Isn't it crazy that I've talked to a lot of people about this too. It's usually some of the best athletes that are kind of the least likely to socialize.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
seen it.
I'm very introverted. Yeah. And thinking of some of my athlete friends, they're introverted as well. I wonder what that is. I
I,
don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it's you put all your focus into it. I always tried to wonder that because, yeah, I'm fine talking to people when it comes to baseball and that. But if I'm walking towards a group of people, I'm like, nope, not
Yep.
today.
Same.
not
Same. Yes.
it's not you guys. The cup's just not full enough to talk to everybody.
Yeah, for sure. Like in my job now, this year I've had to do a lot of professional development for teachers and paraprofessionals, and that God, like I just die inside. But like throw me into a classroom with 25 students with autism and I am just in my glory. Like
Yeah,
it just I'm like, this is it. But I cannot with adults. I just it's always been something within me.
yeah. No, I
Yep.
agree. It's
Mhm.
I'm exactly the same.
Yeah.
So for you, right after college, like when did you get your first opportunity teaching?
So right out of college, so I had always worked at the extended school year since I was like 16 on the summer program for students with disabilities. And so as soon as I graduated, I reached out to see if there was it's called an MTA position. It's a monitor teaching assistant. And I actually got that ironically in the autism classroom.
Mm,
So I worked I worked in that classroom actually at your son's school for a year and a half. And then I was approached while I was getting my master's. And I was approached and they said, hey, we need to open up a new special ed classroom because our numbers are growing and we'd like you to apply. This was mid year, this was like January. And I was like,
oh wow.
okay, I'm going to do this. So I did it. I got the job. And then they opened up a classroom at a school, um, the Belmont Street School, which is no longer. But, and we opened in March. So, and I started with two kids in my class. We were the only special ed classroom in the school. And then I think kids started rolling in. I think I got up to like 9 that year. And then the school shut down. So they moved my program to another school. And that's where I spent the next 13 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
That's
So it was
amazing to
interesting.
think about that.
Yeah. It was interesting just like coming in mid year and being the only special ed classroom in the school. But they were, all the teachers were very welcoming, the administration, and I really, like, I remember talking about this in my interview. Like, I wanted to make it a point to really, um, get the kids intermixing, do inclusive activities. And I remember we had Special Olympics that May, and like the entire fifth grade, no, sixth grade up then, the entire sixth grade walked down to um, the Brockton High track and cheered us on. And it was a great
Oh,
experience for like my first teaching experience, although I was terrified. And like looking back, I was like, what was I doing that whole time? But it was a good starting experience.
wow.
Yeah. Yep.
I wonder how that came about to kind of start that, like in March, and for it to only last a year.
Well, the program didn't just last a year. It was just that
That
I think
class.
the other classrooms, the numbers were growing and we need to cap it at a certain amount. So they opened my classroom
Mm,
for the other kids to fill, and then the entire school closed down. So my program just moved to another
yeah.
school, and then it's still there to this day.
Do you remember your first day? What that was like? Because you talked about, all right, I'm gonna do this. Do you remember
Yeah.
that first day with were those two kids around the same age, same
Yeah,
grade?
yep. So it's so funny. I was at Target a couple months ago and I felt someone grab my hand and I hear this deep voice go, "Hey, Miss Hughes." And I looked up and it was one of those two students who was one of my all-time favorite students, and I was so happy to see him, so happy that he remembered me. Um but yeah, I just remember being excited and nervous. And I just wanted to make a difference. And I had one paraprofessional that year. Yeah, it was exciting. It was like I knew I was supposed to be doing this, right? Like I was kind of just, this is the path that I was supposed to be on.
Yeah. It's it's crazy to think that just as you talk to people that are in the same line of work or have a similar background, especially if they have a special needs kid,
Hmm.
you start to see a lot of like commonality in them. And it's always this was meant for us. Like for us, Cole is our only child. So
Yeah.
when we're asked, you know, what's it like is we don't know. It's all we know.
Right. Yep.
Essentially, like that's the only life we've known for the past 5 years
Yep.
is living in Coco's world.
Hmm.
You know,
For sure. Yeah.
it's like
That was,
when you know, you know.
yeah, I do. Yeah. Not to get too deep, but I do feel like my career path and then having Dominic was all really supposed to happen the way it did, you know?
Yeah, like
Like I
if you start to think things are kind of predetermined.
just yeah, just like I know, yeah, I do, just the way the stars aligned. I feel like having Dom made me a better teacher, and being a special ed teacher made me a better mom to him,
Yep.
you know? Yeah.
Yeah. They feed off each other. They really do.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah, having Dom made me I feel like I feel like I was a good teacher right before I had Dominic, but then having him gave me this extra level of empathy to parents that I was always empathetic and tried to be understanding, but having Dominic took it to another level. Like I just got it. I remember was getting a new student, a young lady with autism in fourth grade, and I remember her mom coming to me the first day of school, and like she pulled me aside and she had like tears in her eyes and she was like, "I just please take care of my daughter. Please take care of my baby." And that was before I had Dominic, and I was like, "Of course I will." Like, and in my head, I'm thinking, doesn't this lady like trust me? But it wasn't about me. Like it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't about me. It was about her sending her daughter, who had limited verbal um,
Mm-hmm.
ability to communicate, sending her off into the world and hoping that the people are going to receive her and love her and protect her.
Yeah.
And so things like that, now I'm like, oh, I really truly understand now.
Yeah. No, it's so true. That was our first day last year, Cole's first year in pre-K, and having a nonverbal autistic kid going to school is just petrifying, like, in
For
so
sure.
many ways, because you're like, good or bad, they can't tell you when you get home. You're hoping that
Mhm.
those pieces of papers are filled out in his backpack so you can open it up and take a look. We were so lucky with the teacher, the parents, and just the support staff that we did have for Cole, because the level of communication was always there
Good.
from the beginning. Like, and then the first day of school, he was better off than we were.
Always,
We
right?
were, yeah, we were
Always.
nervous. We were like, okay, so
Yeah.
here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna drop him off. We're gonna go to Dunkin' Donuts because it's right next door. We're gonna get a
Yep.
coffee and we're gonna sit in the parking lot.
Yep.
And we like walked him in. He ran into school and they're like, all right, see you later. And we're like, aren't we supposed to be panicking right now?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
why are we the ones that are worried about
Mhm.
everything? And yeah, he
Yeah.
was fine. He made it the whole, because the class is only 2.5 hours.
Okay. Oh, yep. He's in half K. Half day.
Yeah,
Yep.
so he made it the whole day perfectly fine.
Yeah. Amazing. And this is he had Miss Butler.
He
Is
did.
that okay? Yeah. I watched
Yep.
that interview. She seems great. Yeah.
Oh, she is awesome.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
seemed really
Yeah,
great.
she's great. She's great with the kids, great communicator.
Mhm.
She's very good on the fly, which is what you need sometimes with a classroom of, that the class originally started at 4 kids and then it climbed up to 9, but
Okay.
you know how it works. If one
Mhm.
kid's having a tough time, that can kind of take over at times.
Yeah. For
Eh,
sure.
Fair enough. But
Yeah.
yeah, she'd always done a good job balancing it.
Good. And he just loves school. He loves going.
He absolutely loves it. We'll walk him in most of the way now, but we'll put his bag on right before he hits the fence, and then he sprints in.
I love it.
And then they have to tell him, say bye. He goes, bye
Yeah.
bye. He goes, bye bye.
Yep.
It's the cutest little thing.
I love that.
Bye bye.
That's all we want, right? We want our
Yeah.
kids to be happy and the people around them to love them for exactly who they are and protect them and push them. And that's
Yep.
great. Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good, good,
And then,
good.
yeah. And we've gotten stronger as parents.
Yeah.
It's all you can ask for. You go through those steps, you know.
How old? He's 4 or 5.
He's 4, he'll be 5 in December.
Oh my God. Yeah. And
Yeah.
you're going to grow even so much. If I think about the amount that I've grown between 4 and 9,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's almost indescribable. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, even just the last 2 years, it's been, you try to think about that now, because January coming up, so January 27th, 2023 was when we received the diagnosis. So even
Okay.
that coming up now, almost on 3 years, just the
Mhm.
change from that time to now has just been incredible.
Yeah. I feel like at that age, like every 6 months, you're seeing like a different kid.
Oh,
The
yeah.
milestones and it's that's what I always think. I think there's a lot of gifts in autism. But I think one of the greatest gifts are that we get to celebrate like the smallest things. Like the smallest things are such a celebration. Like,
Yes. Yeah, 100%. It was the other day, he held an apple up to his mouth, and we're like, he almost ate
yes,
it.
no,
Yes.
yes, for sure. Like he licked a piece of pizza. Yes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I just like knowing that I was gonna talk to you today, I was kind of looking back, like in my notes on my phone, I used to keep track of different, just different things that John would do.
Yeah.
And like the things that I would write, I was like, I hadn't looked at it in quite some time. I wrote like he pointed at something he wanted. And I remember being so excited that he pointed at something and that he was
Yes.
able to tell me. Or like another thing I wrote was like he said vacuum. I just remember being so excited about those small things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
But and for us, those are the most amazing things. And sometimes it's weird to try to celebrate those things with other people because they may not understand, which is totally fair. But
Yeah.
some of those smaller things, you're like, oh my God. Yeah, Cole in the past couple months has started like putting a shirt on. And you're just like, he put the other night
Amazing.
he put on his pants. They were backwards, but I'm like,
Oh yeah.
you're sleeping in them, kid, because you did it.
Yep. Yep.
You made it.
Yes. No,
It's
that's funny that
awesome.
you say that. I think like our proud mom and dad moments just look different. And, I'll say sometimes like if I'm like with a group of friends and they're talking about their kids and maybe they're talking about football season or band or something, like it stings once in a while for
Hmm.
sure for me um when there's like big group conversations. But like our celebrations just look different. Like Cole blew out his candles.
Yes.
Dawn learned to ride a bike. Like just it just is different. And like as I get older, I'm better able to deal with that. But in the beginning years, I really struggled with those type of things.
Yeah. No, 100%. And you're not alone in that because there's still times, I think, because we're still a little bit early in our process, that
Mm.
because Brian's son is 6.5 now. So they're not all that far in
Mhm.
age, but Kayla has friends with kids that are similar to Cole's age. And every once in a while, you are reminded of some of the small things like that. I actually had a conversation with Brian. It was probably 6 months ago, and we were joking because I think Junior came home and he was saying something maybe that he wasn't supposed to be saying.
Yeah.
and and I made a joke to add some levity to it. And I'm like, isn't it crazy that if he says it, he gets yelled at, but if Cole says it,
Yep.
we celebrate.
Right. Yep.
He got another word. This is
Yes.
awesome.
Right. Yeah.
You know? Some
That's
of
a
this.
great point.
He's like, I know, it's unbelievable. I'm like, man, they're kids.
Yeah.
You got to teach them. They'll learn, but remember what
How
it's
are
like to be a kid.
Yeah. How are so do you have a lot of nieces and nephews?
Yeah, so we have five nephews. I
Oh, we
wanna
have five nephews too. No girls?
no girls.
Same, no girls.
None. The boys run strong. They're
Yeah.
everywhere. Yeah.
How are the cousins with Cole?
So Junior's the only one that's local.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's, and he has another cousin here that's a little older. He's like 20. So, but
Yeah, that doesn't count.
yeah, it doesn't really count as far as kids interacting and playing. But two of them are in Canada. Another one's in Colorado. So they
Okay.
don't. Yeah. So they're kind of out of the equation at this
Gotcha.
point. But Junior has gotten awesome with Cole. I actually sent Brian a text the other day because I think it was like last week where Junior was just playing with Cole.
Yeah.
And the point is to kind of teach Junior of like the inclusion part of he's not going to talk to you and it's not going to be a normal interaction. But
Hmm.
this is where you can kind of be big brother and
Yeah.
lead the charge. And it was like the first time where he was like chasing after Cole with a stuffed animal and stuff like that. And Cole was
Yeah.
running. And it was like the most beautiful thing to see because,
I bet. Yep.
and that I don't want to say he started getting it, but he kind of started getting it of the relationship's not going to be based on words. It's going to be based on feeling
Yeah.
and all of that. And it was one of the first times that there's only a handful of times you can count on one hand how many times we've seen Cole playing with another kid.
Hmm.
He
Yeah.
usually stays off to the side and does his own thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Same. And as they get
yeah.
older, that relationship will just build. We have so I have two boys and my sister has three boys and they my oldest is my oldest nephew's 11 and then my second one is 6 months younger than Dom and they're just so kind and patient. Like they'll kill each other and they'll yell at my youngest one and just, just be boys. Boys will be boys, beat
Yeah.
each other up. But they use like a different tone of voice with Dom, and they're just like kind and understanding, and they give him his space when he needs his space. And it's just, yeah, it's so cool to see them grow and start to really understand how to best interact with their cousin.
Yeah. Absolutely. And
Yeah.
it's amazing that that is there and that's in place. And I think Cole is starting to gain that a little more. I know we're very busy. Like our cousins have kids and stuff, and they'll do like a Berkeley Sunday where they'll all get together for breakfast. But Cole has a tough time with dogs and loud noises. If
Yep.
For us, if you park outside of a building that he doesn't recognize, he'll start to struggle and have a tough time.
Yeah.
Small
Hmm.
things like that. So
For sure.
that's where it can get a little difficult to try new things and bring him out places. But
Yeah.
Kayla's really good because she'll show him pictures. Like if we go to Target, he's very good when you give him a heads up. Hey, we're going to go to Target. She'll press it on his AAC. She'll show him pictures of it. And then we go
Hmm.
there and he's fine.
Yeah.
So,
I swear that's half the battle is just previewing the day. That's the same with Dom. I can, at this point, I can like like say the dentist, for instance, like he's always hated the dentist. But if I start like preparing him a few days in advance and talking about it, then by the time it comes, he's okay. But if I was to throw anything, like even a preferred place like Target, which he loves, if we were just sitting on the couch, I'm like, hey, let's go to Target, full meltdown, like changes in routines and
mm,
schedules, like he just has the most difficult time with. And that's just him. And we just
yeah,
need to adjust around him.
yeah, yeah. The heads up have been extremely helpful.
Yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
just so he has the ability to wrap his mind around. Hey, we're going to be leaving. We're going to do this. Um, Sometimes it doesn't work out so great.
Oh, yeah. You got to pivot. Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of pivoting.
trick or treating this year was yeah, we went to the Downey, got all dressed up. He did not want to get out of the car, so we sat in the parking lot for 15 minutes, turned around and went home.
Yep.
And then he was kind of sick when we were going to go to Stonehill because they do one
Hmm.
as well. So we missed it this year, but we'll put him in his costume and go across the street
Yeah.
and just ask
Holidays
them.
look different. The
Yeah,
holidays look different. And that was another big struggle for me, was understanding that things are going to look different for us,
yeah,
and that's okay.
mm-hmm,
Um, just
yeah,
different set of expectations, and it is what it is. Like trick or
yeah.
treating, the first few years didn't go so great. A few years he just walked right into people's houses. Luckily they were all very nice. Our neighbors were very nice. But now we're at the point where I always say we're the fastest trick or treaters in America. We hit our 5 houses on our side street. Done. He doesn't eat a piece of candy. He puts his costume away and he's ready for the next year. Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, Cole likes to knock on the doors and say trick or treat, but he doesn't eat the candy, so
Oh yeah.
usually how it works.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
so with you having like the teaching background within
Hmm.
special needs, like how was the diagnosis process for you guys?
Mm.
Were you guys certain? Were you on the fence where maybe you had seen kiddos with it and had worked with kiddos on the spectrum?
No, it was okay. Let's see. So I was not certain. I was not certain at all. So with Dom, like he hit all his milestones. Like he hit like he walked at 9 months. His like gross motor, fine motor things were fine, but he never developed any speech. Like a lot of kids will hear about regressed. He didn't regress. He just never gained any speech. So like I kept asking, like I always had like something in my stomach saying something's not right, something's not right. And like everyone always shut me down, even the pediatricians, everybody was like, just give it time, give it time. Like even Eric, my husband he was like, just give it time, everything's fine. So we called early intervention. They came out, he qualified for speech, and they would come to the house. And I was kind of like, he needs more than this. This isn't it. This is not it. So we actually discontinued those services because I just felt like they were pointless. Got him into speech. So we started going to speech and language, and then he went to he went to a home daycare. So John Kelly's wife, Nancy, had a daycare, and who was like an angel to us. She just handled everything so gracefully, and she started noticing things like he was having a hard time transitioning. He would spin a lot. Um, and like he didn't have like stereotypical stims. Like he didn't he didn't flap. He didn't vocally stim. There was nothing that was like screaming autism to me at the time. Like retrospectively looking back at it, like there's things now I'm like, oh, that's what it was. Like I remember there was a friend, I had a friend over who was a mom, and there was like Toy Story was on or something, and Dom came and sat on my lap and just sat and watched the movie. And she was like, he'll just sit and watch the whole thing. And I was like, yeah. And I didn't realize that was something that most 2-year-olds don't do. They're usually up, but he was so fixated on it. And like, and I had these Disney books that I used to read to him. He loved books. And he would just sit and flip through the pages and kind of make like a babbling sound. And he just looked like he was enjoying them so much. And I just thought he was like pretending reading, but now I know that he was stimming on the pictures.
Mm.
So things like that I didn't know at the time. So then daycare started noticing things, and I remember this moment so clear. Some moments you remember how you felt.
Oh yeah.
I had a day at work, and I had like it was like a data day. So I was in the office working all day, and I had my headphones in. I was listening to a podcast because at that point I had kind of just become obsessed with all things speech delay and like what can I do to have some language development? Like I was obsessed. That's all I read about. That's all I podcast. And I remember in this podcast, and the title was "How to Tell if It's a Speech Delay or Autism." And I was listening, and the woman said something like, "It may be autism if your child has never pointed, clapped, or waved." And I just remember like this kick to the gut, and I was like, "Oh my God." And that honestly, I'll never forget that. That was the moment that I was like, okay, this is more than a speech delay. Um, so I made the appointment to get him tested. And then Mason was born. And a month later, I had signed Dom up for four kicks in Taunton.
Yes.
It's like a soccer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a 2-3-year-old soccer class. And I was like, this was like our first time we were going to try like something sporty. And I took him to the class, and it was like the first time that I was like, whoa, Dominic is very different than other kids his age.
Yeah.
And because he wouldn't attend, he wouldn't do the activities, he wouldn't attend. Um, he was like perseverating on something, I don't know, I don't remember exactly what it was. And I remember like being out there. I had had a baby like a month ago, and I'm out there and I'm like sweating, trying to get him to engage in the activities. And I just left crying because it was like that moment I knew what it was. And then a month later, he was diagnosed with ASD level 2. Um, so yeah, so it wasn't
Wow.
cut and dry, but then like things started building up right before the testing that I was like becoming a little more certain that that's what it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I was not certain to begin with.
And that's the toughest thing too, especially if you're diagnosed with like a level 2.
Hmm.
Because you're right there. So it's like signs not having signs. It's not, you might not be totally severe.
Hmm.
So that's why I always ask too, because to your point, when you talk about, is he waving, is he clapping, is he pointing,
Hmm.
stuff along those lines, it was the same thing with Cole.
Oh, okay.
So he had hit certain milestones with like walking, and then I swear, maybe I remember it different. Kayla would probably have the actual story of it. But in my mind, he walked at 9 months and then was running at like 9 months and 1 week.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
just constantly running. He was quick to go up and down the stairs. Some of the fine motor skills just all seemed to be there when it came to like the athleticism.
No, he's a Curran boy.
Well,
Yeah.
for me, I'm
Yeah.
like, listen, it's gonna take him a little bit of
You're like,
time.
yep, it's in the
You
genes.
know what you're
Yep.
working with here.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
not joking around. I'm like, listen, you're the smart one. I'm the athletic one. He looks like
Yeah.
me. He's taking after me.
Yeah.
And and then we had just seen certain things because, like I said, she has friends with kids around that age. So it was like, are they pointing? Are they waving? And a number of things like that. And some of those signs weren't there. And then you start looking at the number of signs that weren't there.
Mhm.
Like, so we don't tell many people. There's only a couple people who have seen it, but he used to run in the house. Like, he used to run laps around in the house, kind of how our house is set up, and he would have a difficult time stopping.
Yeah.
So I always called them loops. He would get
Mhm.
caught in a loop, like his brain was on loop. He would run around in a
Yeah.
circle inside and around the house, just from the dining room, living room, hallway, kitchen, dining room, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
At first, he would be laughing.
Right.
10, 11, 12 laps in, but by lap 15 to 20, he was starting to lose it because he couldn't stop.
Yeah. He couldn't.
He
Yeah.
couldn't
He
he
couldn't
couldn't
different.
stop his
Yep.
brain, so I would have to hold him and kind
Yeah.
of calm him down. And some of those things
Mhm.
were like, okay, you know, um,
Yeah.
we started looking into it. How long was the waiting list for you guys? Do you remember?
So we got very lucky. I had used a clinical psychologist, and our wait list was probably only 2 months. We got very lucky.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so ours, Boston Children's, was 18 months.
Yeah.
Then she ended up finding another place. I think it was in like Fall River. That was 12 months. And she was the mom who called everyone.
Yeah.
So, and it was ICCD.
Oh,
And
yeah. Please.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Hmm.
So she
Yep.
would call and call and call and say, if anyone cancels tomorrow, we can fill in.
Yeah.
And she just kept calling and kept checking up, and to the point that they knew her by name. And then all of a sudden it was like, hey, we have a cancellation. Can you be here in a week, in 2 weeks, whatever the time frame was?
Yeah.
And we're like, yep. So we
Sure
just
can.
dropped everything. And for us, it was more of a relief because we
Hmm.
we had
Hmm.
seen all the signs and we knew. And just like, your parents, they're going to say, it's fine, it's okay, it's going to take time. But for
Hmm.
us, it was almost the point of like, not convincing family, but letting them know that you're seeing things that they might not be.
Right. Yeah.
And once we got the diagnosis, because it didn't change who he was.
No.
So it was like, okay, we got to get to work. Now he's eligible for these services.
Yeah.
We have good insurance. We can get this. What are the phone calls? So we had a little bit of time to process it and all of that, but I think we spent most of the time just trying to get to work. What do we need to
Yep.
do? What's best for him? And I think that filled a lot of the time.
Yeah. Because you're replacing those feelings with like action, and then
Absolutely.
you feel like you're getting somewhere. So yeah, you kind of, for me, and I can relate to that. When we got the diagnosis, there was a level of relief, and then it's like, all right, let's go, let's do this. And I remember the day he was diagnosed, um I called an ABA center that day, because Luke and Barbara's son, who's my godson, was
Hmm.
diagnosed the year before, and they had gone to this ABA center and they just spoke so highly of it. And so I called that day, and then I remember it was 16 weeks. That was the wait to get in there. So it was 16 weeks until we got in there. But to this day, I think that was the best decision that I made, hands down. I know, like, ABA, there's a lot of controversy around it, but I can only speak for our experience. And our experience was that it was a game changer. And I am so thankful to that team of people that worked with him when he was younger.
And we've heard that as well, like the controversy behind ABA. I can only speak for us and our experience of it. We had an amazing experience. So
Hmm.
all of like Kayla's family is all teachers. Her sister
Okay.
is a high school teacher. Her mother is an elementary teacher. Um, and when we were looking to get into ABA, there was a woman by the name of Erin Peterson who used to work at Halifax as like the special needs teacher.
Hmm.
And then she had left and had either started or she runs her own practice essentially. She's a BCBA. She oversees, um, a wide range of therapy services where
Hmm.
she is. And I'm trying to remember because you get dad brain after a while, but
Oh, for sure.
I swear we got right in. Like
Good.
as soon as we called, she found us two people with available schedules and that she thought was going to work out for us.
Hmm.
And it was Kelly and Erin. They
Yeah.
were amazing. We had them for almost the entire time. And then one of the Erins moved off and we received Tara, who was awesome with Cole. So
Good.
the three different therapists that we had and Erin, who ran the practice, were all amazing.
Hmm.
We were very fortunate. So when we had heard
Yeah.
about ABA, it was nothing but good experiences.
Right. Did you do in-home or center-based?
We did do in-home and
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah,
to be honest, I couldn't imagine doing center base to start because I'm like, nope, he has to be in home. Because
I get that.
selfishly, I wanted to learn as well.
I love that.
We
Yeah.
wanted to see it, and he's so mummy daddy
Yeah.
that it was like,
Hmm.
you're not gonna last if we drop him off here.
Yeah. And for me, it was the opposite. I think maybe because I wanted like home to be home,
Mm,
probably because of what I was doing all day at school. Like I wanted home to be home with mom and school to be learning. You know what I'm saying? I wanted that separation.
yeah,
Also I was, no one was home. So it just the way it worked out. But I remember like signing him up and I was like, this is amazing. And like him making so much progress and being on Facebook one day and coming across like this Facebook group that was like so anti ABA. And I was like, oh my God, what is this? Like, and I was like, oh, all right, this is a controversial therapy, but it changed our lives. It changed our lives, hands down.
yeah. And from what I hear, ABA has changed. I mean, maybe
Yes.
it differs based on centers, but it's definitely changed. There was never any times where they're like, he can't move on to step 3 unless he does step 2.
Right.
We've
Yeah.
always had amazing flexibility with the people that have been in home, and it works out where Kayla's home during the day, so she was here. We
Oh,
knew
good.
all of them. We got to meet all of them before
Hmm.
they ever came into the home, essentially. So
Yeah.
it always just, I don't know. It's tough talking to people because we were very lucky with that
Hmm.
situation. And to your point, I couldn't have imagined doing it like in center to start, and then later on I thought that would have been awesome to have some additional interaction with other kiddos to learn outside of the house. Because then when we brought him to school, we started to think he's never really been outside of the house and
Hmm.
had someone else teaching him.
Yeah.
So then that became oh man, we'll see how this
But then
goes.
he adjusted.
Then he
Yeah. But then
adjusted.
he adjusted.
Yep.
Yeah. It all works out. We're so hard on ourselves. We think, right? Like when we get this diagnosis, we think we have to do it all right then. Like we got to do the speech, the OT, the gluten-free diet, the food therapy, everything.
Yeah.
And that's something I wish I could go back and tell myself, like, Lindsay, just pick your number one priority and focus on that. Like you don't have to do everything at once. Um,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the toughest part because there's such a vulnerability in our kids that you feel like you have to protect every aspect of their life.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, r- rather than just letting them be kids and figuring a lot of the things out as they go, you're like, well, I have to do this and I have to do that. And yeah, it'll put a lot on your shoulders.
Yeah. And you think like, well, I'll speak for myself. I I thought like if I don't get this right when he's 3 or 4, like I'm gonna screw everything up. If I don't make the right decision, what if I choose to do OT and then we lapse on speech or just whatever? Like
Hmm.
those decisions don't impact them for the rest, of their lives like you think they will. But there's just so much pressure when you first get that diagnosis to just like do it all, and you can't.
I know.
And it wouldn't even benefit the child. It would be too much.
Yeah. Now, how did that work for you guys when, like, Dom would go to school, or how did you dwindle down ABA? Because what we had to do is
Hmm.
we did 4 days. I believe we started with we started with like the 2 days a week with school and then moved it up to 3 and then moved it up to 4. But
Hmm.
essentially we had to start cutting out some of the ABA because that
Yeah.
was during the day. And then we're trying to get
Right.
afternoon sessions, but they already had other personnel.
Hmm.
So we had to like try to strategically do it. Did you guys
Yeah.
have to do that at all where it's like making the decision this versus that?
Yeah. So, all right. So let's see. He started ABA full time just shy of his third birthday. And then, so he went full time and he didn't attend pre-K. I made the decision to keep him in ABA until he went into kindergarten.
Mm.
So he did ABA full time, and we were lucky that our ABA center had a preschool attached to it. So when he was
Oh.
ready, he was able to integrate into the preschool for like morning meeting and like a few different activities. So that was really cool, and that it was great. And then COVID hit, but for a while that was really good. So then when kindergarten started, we stopped all ABA. I felt like he was ready though. So like
Mhm.
I didn't feel like it was like a big detrimental thing. I was worried, trust me. I was terrified actually for him to start in public school. But that's how we did it. He didn't attend pre-K in a typical public school. He did ABA, and then kindergarten we stopped.
Yeah, it's such a tough decision.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, because we had amazing people. We
Hmm.
had amazing people in home, and it was a tough call to say, all right, if we move to 3 days, we're cutting someone else's day. And
Hmm.
then at one point in time, if you cut a Tuesday, Thursday, you've just lost one of the people that have helped you get to the point where you feel like you are. Because
Yeah.
we had ABA Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Because then Wednesday he would have speech and we would
Yep.
mix in outside therapies with that. But yeah, that's when it got tough because then we started trying to move things. So it's like he would have ABA and OT in the same day. And in that time he was having like he would have speech from 8:15 to 9 and then drive home, get there for 9:15
Yeah.
and ABA's waiting.
Crazy. Yeah. It's
And
amazing what we can juggle,
yeah,
you know?
and he's two and a
When
half
you
and
really
you're like,
think about it.
"Huh."
Like I haven't really thought about this in quite some time, but yeah, you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And it
And we just had to make the decisions that we felt were right at the time of like, hey, we think he's ready for 4 days. We think
yeah.
he's ready for 5 days,
Yeah.
you know? Tough
So are you guys
decisions.
completely done with ABA now?
We are as of right now.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still in speech, still in OT.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, those were tough calls because we loved them and everything that they had done.
Same.
They had just been such a big part of our life, and we really believe that that service and those people came into our life at the perfect time for what we needed. It was in home.
Hmm.
Sheesh, like I said, he was diagnosed, and 2 months later, he
Yep.
was in, 2 months later, he was in. So it
Yeah.
was all brand new and just everything worked out. But
Good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this too. How is the interaction with two kids, right? How is like
Oh,
how's the sibling dynamics?
so yeah, it's definitely been a journey. When Mason was born like a month before John was diagnosed. And John honestly didn't even notice him, I would say, for the first, like, I don't know, 6 months. Like, John was like, what's this? Like, he just didn't care. I don't know if he really noticed, or he seemed unfazed by Mason. And then the first time I like really remember John like noticing is when Mason started to walk, and
Mm,
Mason was in his space now. And John was irritated with that. John likes his space. Mason was all up in his face. And I remember thinking, oh no, like, oh no, how is this going to be? And it lasted like that for a little bit of time. And I remember saying to Luke, like, because he has two boys too, and I was like, are they ever going to be close? Like, that was it. It was heartbreaking for me. That was another thing. I struggled a lot, Chris, but that was one of the things I struggled with, was worrying if they were ever going to have a true friendship, really.
hmm
And Luke was like, just give it time, Lindsay, give it time. And I can say now that like Mason is the kindest, empathetic. Like, if you know Mason, he's just a lover. Like, he is so big hearted. Like, he was made to be Dom's brother.
Oh,
And that
that
can
is
me that
awesome.
will get me. But
Yeah.
he brings out like the best in Dom. He brings out the absolute best in Dom. He's taught Dom how to play. He's taught Dom how to share. Um, he's brought tons of language out of Dom. And, last year I started teaching Mason about autism, like what autism is, and how it affects his brother. And so like sometimes if Dom's having a hard time, he'll always say, "Mom, it's the autism. It's the autism." I'm like, yeah, it is. It is. Um, but so Mason he does get frustrated with Dom, and Dom gets frustrated with him, as brothers do.
hmm
Like, Dom likes his personal space. And Mason, if they're playing like Roblox or something together, Mason wants to sit on top of Dom, and Dom needs him like 10 feet away from him. So he's like, Mason, will you please give me some space? And Mason gets so offended that he can't like sit with his brother. Or like John does not like people singing, like whether it's his teacher, his one-to-one, me, Mason. So like that makes car rides real difficult because Mason loves to sing, and John like shuts it down and puts his headphones on and is like, I'm not having this. Um, but for the most part, it's I can say it's grown into a relationship better than I had ever imagined. And they just bring the best out in each other, for sure. They teach each other so much that I wasn't sure if that was going to happen. But just like anything, I just need to give it time and be patient, and it always works out. But
That's
they
awesome.
have a great relationship now. Great relationship.
That's so cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's always one of the questions too, is teaching the siblings about it and adding that in there, because you're always going to want them to have that level of empathy.
Hmm.
That's where it starts. Like, they have to know how to interact and be around, special needs kiddos in order
Hmm.
to understand how it is out in the world with people, and so they can kind of lead the charge too and be able
Yeah.
to explain it. And that's one thing we're trying to work on Junior with in time,
Hmm.
is not only to know how Cole is, but to eventually be able to explain it.
Yeah. Yep.
you
How
know.
old is he?
So he's only 6.5.
Okay, yeah.
It's a little different, but
Yeah, for sure.
we are kind of having them mingle a little bit more.
Mhm.
So that part's pretty good. The thing with Junior is he's very active,
Mhm.
loud, and Cole is very very much like Dom in those ways of like, I like my personal space. If you get in Cole's personal space, he will grab your hand and you'll go, "Aw," and
Nope, it guides you right away.
he walks you to the door and he goes, "Bye bye." I said, "You got hit with that sweet bye bye, huh?" And they're like, "I
That
thought."
is so that
Yeah.
is so funny. Dom does the same thing. That is so funny that you say that. Dom, our joke here is that Dom, like when he wants my mother to leave, he'll be like, "All right, Grammy, see you next time." Like she'll be just chilling on the couch and he'll be like, "All right, see you next time." And he'll just take you to the door. And yeah, same thing. That is so funny.
Oh man. Yeah, he has these amazing quirks. He's kind of getting back into it, but there was this phase of like, I don't even know if I can call it a phase. It was like a year long where if you laughed in front of him, he would come up, grab your hand and shake it cuz he wanted to be part of the laugh. So
Yes.
you would go ha ha. He would ha ha. You had to do a fake laugh. And
Yep.
then, so me and Kayla's joke is like, you say something and you can't laugh in the house.
Oh,
So
yep.
you're just like,
Yep. Yep.
it's a good one. You know?
Yep. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's so funny with some of those little things.
They're the best. That's what makes them them. It's the best.
What I've had to learn as a parent too is understanding that like my parents and my brothers don't know all of the little things.
Mhm.
So if my mom laughs and then he shakes her hand and she goes, ha ha, ha ha, and then she laughs because it was funny and then the process starts again. I'm like,
Yeah.
you have to stop laughing. You have to stop laughing. It's not a
Yeah.
game. It's not a game.
Right. Yeah.
Because after a while he'll start to lose it. And I'm like,
Yes.
it'll all
Yep.
be small things like that. Or if you talk too much in the same room with him, he'll become dysregulated.
Mhm.
Stuff like that. And you just learn some of the
Yeah.
small ins and outs in time. But
For sure.
you can only try to teach it.
Yeah. And as long as they're open, I can say that our families have been very open to learning more. And that's really all you can ask. And they're patient and
Yeah.
it's if you don't live it, it's hard to wrap your brain around it, especially those little nuances that we know, like, oh, this may set our kid off, or, it, it may not make sense to other people, but
Yeah.
to our kids, they're real and it makes perfect sense to them.
Yeah. Do you guys have any
Yeah.
pets?
No, we had a
Mm.
dog and it passed away and we won't ever get another pet. Um, and John was fine with him. When John was fine with the dog, he kind of didn't really pay any attention to it.
Mm.
But now he's scared of dogs, so we would never. It would just be too difficult. Do you guys?
We have 2 cats.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, Kayla has. It's funny because she always wanted an orange cat, and she showed me a picture when she was like 5, holding an orange cat stuffed animal.
Yeah.
So then I got her 2 orange cats,
Oh, look at
so
you.
I could be, husband of the
Yeah,
year.
the hero. Yeah.
But I'm also allergic to cats,
Chris.
so definitely double husband of. So now I'm allergic to cats, but and then when she was pregnant, she couldn't clean the cat box, so it was me dying as I'm cleaning the cat
You just
box.
take Claritin every day?
Every day I have IVs of Claritin just going.
Oh my God.
So it's not too bad, but it definitely gets me. But so we have a boy cat, amazing, friendly, not an issue, but we have a girl cat that's very temperamental, doesn't like people getting close to her, and we were always worried about well, what if, because she swipes at people sometimes.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, what if she does this with Cole when he comes home? Like, what if that
Right.
becomes an issue? And we kind of
Yep.
had to wrap our head around, like, we got to make this work because she's a part of the family. And we were very fortunate that they both just stayed away from each other.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
So, yeah, that was very lucky because Cole is afraid of dogs.
Okay. Yeah.
He is. Now,
Yeah.
I'd say about a month ago, we went to Easton to, I forget the name of that park, like a national park that they have. But we went there and people were walking dogs and he was walking up to him. And I'm like, and then Kayla's like, see, we can get a golden retriever.
Oh,
And I'm like,
don't do it, Kayla.
I'm
Don't
like,
do it.
I'm like, you're trying to kill me.
Yeah. Don't do it, girl.
Oh,
No.
man. But
Yeah.
yeah.
No. We're
So-
good with pets. We got
yeah.
enough.
Yeah. So Dom is afraid of him, huh?
Yeah, he used to not be, and now he is.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no one has dogs around us, so it works out.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I wanted to tell you about? We were here today, and I was like, I gotta tell Chris. So about 4 years ago, Dom and his friend Tyler started going to this gym in Brockton. It's called ASD Fit Boston. Have you heard of it?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, you need to come. So it's a CrossFit gym for kids and adults with disabilities. And it is the most incredible place I've ever been. Um, every kid in there is incredible, all different needs, all different levels of functioning. They have Dom and Tyler doing box jumps, doing kettlebell swings, um, pushing the I can't think of the word right now. The big heavy,
Like the
the
sleds or
big
something, or
yes.
that's
And
cool.
and we've been going for 4 years, and then Dom and Mason, they're gonna start training. I was like, hey, I know Mason doesn't have any disabilities, but like, would you guys consider? Because I've always wanted them to be able to do something together, but
Yeah.
like team sports, we've tried everything, and team sports are just not for Dom. It's okay. So they're gonna start training them together, but I was like, oh, Chris has got to bring Cole and check it out. And the guys there
That's
are
cool.
so nice. It's just awesome. I'm gonna send you some videos after because you guys would love it.
Yeah. You
Very cool.
definitely have to because yeah, we want to get him into something. He hasn't done any team sports. He likes to swim,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't know how he would do in a pool with a bunch of other people. So
Yep.
he's recently walked around the house with a soccer ball and he throws in the air and kicks it.
Yeah.
So we are prepared for things to break.
Oh, you guys got to come. I'm telling you, Chris, you would
Yeah.
love it. And also, as far as swim, something we had success with was I did, I signed him up at Goldfish Swim School. It's in Rockland, which is not, yeah, that's actually not too far.
It's not
And
bad.
we did adaptive one-on-one lessons because I wasn't sure how he would do in the group setting. And he
Mm.
learned to swim. And that was really great for us. Also, another place in Bridgewater, it's Bridgewater Martial Arts. They have a KIA. It's called Kids in Action. It's karate classes for kids with autism, and that was really great for us too.
Ooh.
So yeah, it's hard to find. Like I'm sure as he gets
Yeah.
older, you're gonna find like it's really hard to find things that are fitting for our kids. But those three places have been so successful for us.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'll have to
Yeah.
look into all of them because
Yes.
he has a ton of energy. He doesn't
Yes.
take naps. So,
Yep.
once he leaves school, we got to find some stuff to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know.
ASD Fit is it for sure. And you would love all the guys. One of the guys is a former pro baseball player too. They're just the
Nice.
nicest guys that
That's
run it.
awesome. That
Yeah.
is awesome. How about that?
Yep.
That's pretty good. So
Hmm.
for schooling, have you been a part of any of, I mean, for Dom's IEP meetings? Like, how has that gone?
Oh my God. Let me tell you, being on the other side of the table after 16 years
Yes.
is is so crazy. Like after being on one side for so long and then walking in, yeah, they've gone well. We've had some hiccups here and there, but I'm a pretty I've always kind of been like a people pleaser, like I don't cause waves, but
Mm-hmm.
this is the first time in my life that I have made decisions strictly from my gut and have always trusted my gut, and not really let other people's opinions affect me. And being at the IEP table and making sure that John is getting what he needs. I haven't been scared to speak up. Um, so that has been an adjustment for me. We have had amazing teachers, amazing team chairs, speech and language, OT, school adjustment counselors. We've been very lucky, but there have been things that I've had to advocate for. And I think there's a way to do it that you can come and say it and speak for your child, be your child's voice, and be a heavy advocate without being rude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a fine line, and if you're showing like gratitude for the team and really saying like, hey, what can I do at home to make your life easier? And it can be a really great process. I just think parents just need to know like you know your child the best. You need to be your child's voice. And if there's something that you feel passionately about, you need to fight for that. And if it's a supportive team, they're going to understand and they're going to fight for it with you. And I've been very lucky with Dom's teams, and they have been welcoming and kind and open to my ideas. But it is a different feeling when it's your own kid. And it gave me, just like I said earlier, that much more empathy for parents that enter my team meetings when I'm the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I have a deeper understanding of where they're coming from. And if they're upset with something, instead of me like taking it personally, like, oh no, do they not think I'm like a good enough teacher? Or it may have absolutely nothing to do with me, uh, other than the fact that they want the best for their kids and they're gonna fight to the death for their children. And I understand that now. And before I didn't have that. I didn't understand it that deeply,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Absolutely. I always think that's a big difference between like the district giving the kids what they need versus what they can afford to give them.
Hmm.
I think there is a kind of, at times, a difference in resources and what can be provided versus what they think your child deserves. Sometimes I feel like that there can be some miscommunication in that. With Cole being nonverbal, it would be weird for them to say he doesn't need any speech therapy or he doesn't need to speak
Right.
with the speech at the school. And like, you sure about that? Because
Right.
I don't know if anyone else qualifies more than him. So,
Right. Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
we've been pretty lucky with our IEPs. There are certain things that you have to address back and forth because it
Hmm.
does turn into like a contract. It does turn into things that are on paper and the goals
For
that you're
sure.
trying to meet. And we were very lucky because, as you saw with Alana, um, in one of the previous podcasts, she was in there with us.
Hmm.
She was Cole's teacher. She saw him every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
And I think in those IEP meetings that first year, I can only speak for myself, but we had a lot of good experiences with them. I understand it's a give and take, and kind of like you being a people pleaser, I can always try to find common ground of like, all right, but what do we need to do here? What are we seeing? And luckily we seem to be on board with most
Good.
of it. And we
Yeah.
brought in Erin, our BCBA,
Hmm.
with us,
Yep.
and
Good.
so immediately she was like, based on the introductions, like, yeah, I've been in, you know special needs classes for over 20 years, this, that. So it was like,
Hmm.
not that they were going to sneak anything by, but you
Right.
couldn't with her because she,
Yeah.
like, just like you, where it's like, I've been on the other side of the table.
Yeah.
I kind of know.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think they knew that with me. They did know that with me. Not that they were trying to sneak anything by me, but yeah,
Yeah.
they knew I had experience for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, lots of tears though. I will say that I've shed a lot of tears at IEP meetings. Just at, you know, sometimes, especially at reevals, right? And they're going over testing, it can be hard for a parent to hear all the things that their children are not achieving
Mm.
compared to
Uh,
their typically developing peers. And it can be quite discouraging. So hopefully you have a team that really takes the time to focus on the positives and the things that your child can do rather than what they can't do. Cause it really sucks to look at a report and see extremely low, extremely low, extremely low in every category. Um, so yeah, with that, the team really makes the difference because it's
yeah.
really how they present it and what they choose to focus on.
Yeah, it is tough when you start out that meeting and everyone's talking about their drive-in and who has coffee. And then once you started like, all right, let's begin. And it turns into that dialogue of like, hey, we're looking at this
Mhm.
scoring and this, and it does turn into not overwhelming, but you are
Mhm.
starting to hear some of the things that your kid's not achieving in just kind of like trying to think of the right word for it, but how it just starts flowing in. And yeah, they do kind of hit you at times and you can take it personal and you're like, oof,
Yeah.
you know, like this, the reading scores are low. He's not pointing, not doing this. And you're like, oh, tell me some good things, you know,
Right. Yeah, for
skip that part.
sure.
Like, let's balance this out a little bit.
Yeah. Yep.
Because for us, yeah, he's nonverbal. So you're not going to have the highest reading scores if
Right.
that's the
Yeah.
case. So you
Yeah.
start to hear some of that, but then yeah, they are kind of hard truths at times for you
Mhm.
because you see it every day and you always see the good in it. But
Yeah,
when it's being read back to you sometimes, you're like, ugh.
for sure. Like for me, sometimes I forget, I'll forget what, because he's my oldest, I'll forget what like a typical fourth grader is, is doing, and Dom, so I should say Dom, his first year, so in kindergarten, he was in a separate classroom and he would push out for like morning meeting, not a lot. And then first grade started pushing out for a little bit more. And then second grade pushed out for even more. And then third grade, he went into regular ed with a 1-to-1. And now he's in fourth grade with a 1-to-1. So he's not working at grade level, but he's attempting and he's doing well enough to be in there and has the support with the 1-to-1. But like sometimes I forget, like, oh, this is what a typical fourth grade boy is doing, is talking about, is writing,
Mm,
and that always is a little bit of a punch to the gut.
yeah.
um but like I said, as I get older, I'm better able to deal with it. But
I think we're always going to take those hits.
yeah.
I think every once in a while, the punches, they'll hurt less and they're fewer. But I think
Mhm.
every once in a while, like as much as you live in Dom's world and I live in Coco's world, I think every once in a while you'll get a glimpse into the typical world of our kids' ages and kind of see that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
see it in sports because a lot of my friends have kids that are around the same age and they're playing
Yes.
sports and I was always big in sports. I love them.
Yeah.
But I've also come to terms with like Cole might collect rocks. I
Yep.
like that.
Yeah.
Like all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So whatever he chooses to do, I just want him to be happy and love to do it. And I'm going to do it with him.
Yeah. I
That's,
love that.
that's kind of how I try
I
to look at it now.
I think that's very impressive, honestly. And I think I saw you say that on an interview, and I was so impressed that at Cole being 4 years old, you've already found that. Like, I almost envious of that because I feel like that was something I really, really struggled with. And one of the gifts that Dom has given me is like, he's taught me that he is going to be who he authentically is,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to develop at his time, at his speed, and when he's ready. And that comparing him to somebody else is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Um, but that was really like Dom's always going to be Dom. He always has been. He doesn't care what anyone thinks of him. And I think that is such a gift. But the journey has really been for me. Like, he's doing him. He's been doing him since the second, he's been here. And he's not changing for anybody. I'm the one that needed to change my mindset, you
Yes.
know?
Yeah. You couldn't have said it better. 100%.
Yeah.
It was the same thing with me once realizing that. I think early on, I've said it before too, because we went back and forth on the names. I'd always wanted a Chris Jr. He's going to play football and baseball, and if I made it to
Yeah.
this level, he's going to make it to this level.
Yep.
And then I got over my own ego, probably
Mm.
6 months into Kayla's pregnancy, and she always wanted Cole, and I always wanted CJ, Chris Jr. And I mean, she's carrying him. so
Yep. Yep.
so
You lose that battle.
his name's Cole.
Yeah.
And I think at that time frame, I became okay with, it's not about me, it's about him.
Yeah.
And then I think as one thing led to another, I didn't have the expectation. I didn't have my expectations cast onto him. It was whatever he was doing, I am now going to do. I'm going to
Yeah.
learn to be that person, that father for him. So,
Yeah.
this is where it's tough to be an introvert, because naturally I wouldn't share everything about him anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But then I kind of got eyes on the fact of, well, maybe this was my calling to try to teach people about it and to try to normalize autism for those who don't know, because I didn't really know many people growing up. I didn't know how to explain it. And I know some of the looks we get when we're in Target or Stop and Shop at times from people that
Mm-hmm.
don't understand it. And I've become so okay with not even getting mad at them. I'm like,
Right.
how do you know? And my joke with it to Kayla is like, you're never going to see that person again. Who
Yep.
cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
You're
Who
right.
cares? You know what I mean? So we joke.
Yep.
We lay on the floor together in stores. We hang out. We test everything. I don't care. You
Yeah.
know?
I love that. I think that's amazing. I think that's amazing that you have come to that so early on in your journey. I really do. That
I
was something I wanted to tell you today. Like, I think that
thank you.
is so impressive. Um, I wish I could have gotten there earlier, but you know, this was my journey. It took me a little longer. Took me a little longer, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me ask you this. I know it's so tough because we're not exactly the most extrovert, but if people want to follow your journey, if people want to know more about it, maybe it's not directly with you. Are there things that you recommend people look into?
Yeah, I am not a social media person. I don't even know my Instagram name, I don't think. It's either Lindsay Dahlquist or Lindsay J. Dahlquist. I don't know. I don't really post a ton. So sorry about that. I have no Facebook friends. Yeah, I got nothing. So you can't really follow me anywhere. But if you run into me, I'm happy to talk about all things autism.
That's
Yeah,
good.
I just, I think, I think, never mind. I would start crying. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
So I won't ask about anything too far in depth.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's so much easier for me because I get to ask the questions. But I think about the times when I have to answer them. I
Oh,
literally like fall apart. If people ask me like, "What about?" I'm like, Don't ask me that.
Yeah.
I can't. I've turned into such a softy when it comes to him where like he tugs on all my heartstrings.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
I made a joke about this before. And I'll keep saying it because I still haven't watched it. The movie John Q
Yeah.
with
Oh.
Denzel Washington. So the last time I had seen that, I wasn't a father.
Mm.
But now I'm a father and I watch things. You used to watch movies just to watch them. Now I watch them from a parental lens. And I'm like, I don't know if I could ever watch that movie.
Yeah.
You know, you
I don't
start
think.
seeing
No,
some of
I don't
those.
think you should. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think.
Oh, no. I'd cry as soon as the opening credits hit.
Oh no,
I'm like,
no,
oh, no.
that is not a good one. So nope, don't do it. Do not
Yeah.
do it. Um. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think this was so great. I feel like I could just talk to you about Cole forever and Dom and autism. This was much easier than I imagined it would be.
It really is. It's just a conversation. It's just the best part is you share a lot of similarities with other autism parents and their journeys. And it's always easier for me to talk to athletes as well because you can kind of compare and contrast the strength and endurance behind some of the tough times
Hmm.
because of our training. But there's still always differences in what some of the kids go through.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what adds to that level of great conversation.
You know what I was thinking about today? I wonder if this applies to you. I was thinking about like my whole like life as a child. Like my dad like really pushed me hard in athletics and academics, and like I just had like these high expectations that like no matter like how well I did, I never felt good enough. And I feel like if I didn't have Dom, would I have put those expectations on my kid? You know
That's
what I'm
good.
saying?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
would
good.
I have, because that's all I know,
Yeah,
right? So I feel like Dom taught me to not do that, like to not put my own expectations onto my children,
I think you're right.
you
I
know?
think the way that we were raised, not that, you know, I mean, some people say it about me, but we're not all perfect. And you start to realize that, like you just said, what you fall back on. Like, you know that can work. It's tough love, but it can actually work to teach you some of the life lessons. And I think about that growing up. Like, luckily, our parents never pushed us to play sports. I
Yeah.
so much so that I had to ask my father later on of like, did you have to convince me to put on a glove? He's like, no, you had 3 older brothers. They all did it, so you just did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never remembered him yelling at me for dropping a ball or making any mistakes on the baseball field. Like, he would talk to me about certain things to pick my brain, but I think so. The way I describe us is I think Brett was really good. Hopefully he doesn't watch this. But I think Brett was really good, but he didn't try his hardest
Hmm.
because he was good. I think
Yeah.
Brian wasn't as good, but tried harder than all of us. I think Brian overall is the best athlete in the entire family
Hmm.
because he'll always outwork you. I think Matt was naturally the best athlete out of all of us.
Okay.
Matt should have played professionally,
Yeah.
but Matt didn't care.
Yeah.
And I can say that because he was my roommate growing up. We shared a room. We
Yep.
played varsity baseball together.
Yeah.
He was great, but he just didn't seem to care all that much. And then I was
Hmm.
the runt of the litter. So,
Yeah.
and I had
How
all the
old,
experience.
how old are you?
I'm turning 38 in December.
38. Oh, okay. So you're older than I thought. I was trying to do, because I fall in between Brett and Brian, but I couldn't
Yeah.
remember how old you guys were.
Yeah. So we're all 2 years apart.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, that was kind of like the dynamics of us, but luckily with Cole, to your point, I think I would have put pressure on him. I think in my mind I wouldn't have.
Same. Right.
I think like, oh no, I'll break it. But I think it would have gotten to a point because he is fast. This is kind of randomly scattering these questions. Does Dom
Go
elope
for it.
at all?
No, he's never. So here's the thing about Dom, right? Dom has always been the most cautious child. He does not elope. He does nothing risky. Like, he is Mr. Cautious. Like, always has been, luckily. No, doesn't even play with danger. He is
Wow.
Mr. Safety Patrol.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Cole is on and off with it.
Yeah.
And it's not all that often. He won't just run off in a store. He won't do that. The unfortunate part is he'll run towards the street.
Yeah.
That's the scariest part of it. So we had to go out and we bought a fence for the yard and all of that stuff in case the grandparents come over and they're going to watch him and hang out with him. But he is so fast.
Of course he is.
So
of course he is.
So Kayla's like an inch taller than me.
Okay.
But her legs are like 5'4".
Yep.
And I joke that her torso is like this big. But her
Yeah.
So he has like so he's tall. So he's 4 years old, but he's 4 feet tall.
Yeah, you sent me that picture. Crazy.
Yeah, so he's unbelievably tall, but I think he's faster than I was. So now it's scary. Like, you can't wear flip-flops in the driveway with him in the event that he wants to take off and run. I think it only happened twice this year. It was more, a lot more last year, but yeah, he'll take off. It's scary, but that boy's fast.
Elopement is tough. That's a tough one. But hopefully as he gets older and he's more aware of danger, that'll decrease. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Do you and Luke's kids, do you guys all hang out at all? Do the kids get together?
Yeah, we do. So, well, like, his oldest is 12 now, so he's like, too cool.
He's too cool.
But yeah. And Dom really like does his own thing. But then Sammy, who's their youngest, who has autism also, him and my Mason get along great together, and they like to like animate and like do that kind of thing. But it's so funny. Like, it's just like, again, how like the universe works, right? Like, so Luke and I met in first grade 35 years ago, best friends, grew up together, both have sons with autism. We're both each other's godparent to that child before they were diagnosed. Like, it's just crazy. Like, how did that work out? It's wild.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's meant to be.
Yep. They call him Uncle Squeezy. That's what Luke's name is, because every time he gets them, he shakes them, and they adore him. They adore him and Barbara so much.
I gotta text him.
Oh, yeah.
What's up, Uncle Squeezy?
Oh, please do. He'll die. He'll love that.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah. So this was great, Chris.
Yes.
Are we done with the questions? Is that it? Did I answer all the questions?
You passed.
Okay. Yeah, that last question, the one about like, what message do I want to leave my kids? I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah, you can't do it.
No freaking way.
I wanted to ask you just to mess with you, but I was like, no.
It's so funny. I wrote down answers to the one before that in case you answered about like, what do I want people to know about Dom and autism? But the next one, I was like, no way, not even trying to tackle that one.
Well, when certain things will pop up, I'm like, let me ask this, let me not ask this.
Yeah.
Let me try to be aware of that. Plus, you'll be on again in the future anyways, because that's how it'll work.
I don't know about it. So, you know what? I didn't realize. I put 2 and 2 together. I was like, who sent you the other journal? Because I know Barbara sent you one. And then Megan Lagarde is friends with your wife.
Best friends. They grew up together.
I saw them in a picture together at the Chris Brown concert, and I was like, oh, okay, this is the connection. Because she was like, I remember her coming up to me and her saying, hey, my best friend's son was just diagnosed, and I sent her your journal, and I was like, oh my God, that's so nice. But I did not know it was the Currans.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. That's why I had seen it. I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
It's so random. Yeah.
And then I started actually posting about it, and then Luke reached out.
Oh, okay.
And
Gotcha.
that's when I was talking to Luke and
Yeah.
all of them about it. So,
And then the other connection is my friend Gabby. You're friends with Brian,
mhm.
because I was talking to her and I was like, Gabby, I'm doing Chris's podcast. And she's like, do you want me to come sit with you? Because she's my neighbor. And I was like, no, that's okay. But like, how funny would it be if
That's
I was like, Chris,
cool.
here's Gabby as my emotional support person.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's such a small world.
Brockton, man.
That's
It's
it.
Brockton.
You start
Brockton athletes are so connected.
yeah. You
So
start seeing everyone. The amount of people who have reached out ever since I started talking about like Coco's journey and everything like that. You just never would have thought, because I'm not the first person who's going to want to share everything.
Yeah.
Before I started sharing, I was victim to the mindset of, well, why should I share with people if they're not even asking? Why am I going to tell everyone about how
Yeah.
Cole's doing if no one's asking how he's doing? And you kind
Yeah.
of go through those tough times, and then I kind of had to do it for me.
Yeah.
And speak out about it and see where it would take me. And then you start to find out there's so many others out there, and you build that community, and now it's turned into something completely different.
It's amazing.
know?
It's amazing. I think what you're doing is incredible. And I think you're an amazing dad. And your mindset is, like I said, it's something that I envy. I think it's great.
Thank you. Thank
And I
you.
have a feeling, I'll be probably seeing Cole a whole lot once he's in kindergarten.
I know. I think
Yep.
it'll be next year.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, okay, good.
I think it'll
Yeah.
be next year.
Nice.
So
Nice.
we're excited
All
about
right.
that.
Yeah.
Well,
Good.
yeah,
All
thank you,
right.
Lindsay. I appreciate having you. Thank you for being
Yes.
on, and yeah, we'll be talking. That's for sure.
All right. All right. Thanks, Chris.
All right, take care.
All right. Bye.